This week on the show, we're covering Daybreak, the first chapter of Living Story Season 4. We're going to dive into the map, the Domain of Istan, break it down, and share all the feels. We also have what we call news, and we have some updates about the show. It's like a cool drink in Paladin on Shadow the Dragon. Shadow the Dragon. This is episode number 54. You're muted, Gallios. You're still muted, Gallios.
I did that on purpose.
So here we are, episode 54. We just I don't know what we did. We just kind of talked about this with chat, but we're having a little change in the format of the show. We're going from being a journalistic type podcast to more of a conversational type podcast. So, so just keep listening. Things will be the same, but we're trying to keep a little bit happier tone on the show, and staying away from some of the more controversial issues is what's going to do it for us. So,
we're going back to just celebrating the joy and love of the game.
Yes, with my snarky comments from
and
time
our
to time.
camaraderie.
And our camaraderie.
Yeah.
And our fun friend thing.
So it's been 3 weeks since our last show. So Kora, what have you been up to, girly?
November's been crazy for me. December's looking also crazy. But I finally got on game last night, and I played through the newest Living Story. Finished it, and it's good. It's really good. There's so much lore that, I'm going to have to replay it again because I know I missed things. I know I did. And it was really awesome seeing so much tie back to the original game. So that also makes me want to go play Nightfall again. Yeah. But it was good. But my November was very hectic, very busy. So mostly it was me hitting a lot of writing goals because the Winter's Day zine, which I think there's still sometime, I don't know, maybe by the time this goes out, that there won't be time to buy. But if anybody's listening live right now and you haven't picked up your copy, go order your copy.
Yeah, it's down to the final hour, I think.
Yeah, for physical copies. And then there will be a digital edition, I think, throughout the end of this year that you can order. And then there was also the Guild Mag zine that's coming that I wrote a little thing for. And I really struggled with that one and wound up changing it a bunch of times what I was writing. And I'm glad that I think what I settled on still works, because the second to last idea that I come up with that I was like, I'm going to write this one, totally got contradicted by a lot of stuff in this Living Story season. So I was like, oops. But so I was working on those two big projects, getting those done, working on some personal writing projects, getting those done. And then my youngest niece, who turns 4 on Christmas Day, when I asked her what she wanted for her birthday, she said a rainbow unicorn. And when a 4-year-old asks you for a rainbow unicorn for her birthday, you make a rainbow unicorn happen, even if it means you have to learn how to crochet, which makes you want to stab your eye out with a crochet hook. So I am crocheting the two. I just have the 2 arms, and then I have to stuff the arms, and then I have to stitch everything together, and then she will have a rainbow unicorn. Yes.
Nice.
I'll post it on my Twitter. Like, I don't know that anybody cares, but it'll be out there when it's finished.
My daughter likes rainbow flying unicorns. That's what my daughter likes. So you're lucky she didn't ask for a flying rainbow unicorn.
I would have had to figure that out, but wings. Oh no. Miko, what have you been up to?
A lot of raiding, a lot of studying of raids, and doing some of the story. I haven't finished playing it yet, but I like what I've played through so far and what I've seen streamed, so it's pretty cool. That's about me. Yeah, I'm kind of been working and raiding.
Nice.
Sounds a lot like what I did. A lot of working, no raiding. I didn't raid.
And so,
I don't
Gallios, what have
raid
you
well.
been up to, buddy?
Me, a lot of driving lately, man. I am so tired of driving, but you know, when it's your job, I guess you got no choice. A lot of driving and a lot of kids stuff this last few weeks. You know, they were off for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So did a lot of family stuff. But I did get time to get in game. And the crazy thing is I went back and started playing some World v World again. We're still in T2. The only bad thing is that like we were tanking a little bit because we enjoy tier 2 so much that we don't want to go up. So there was a little bit of tanking going on, but you know, we're having a good time. I had a good time in that. And of course, after Tuesday night, I did a little bit of the story. And I haven't really played much of the story yet. I started to get in there, and every time I start to get in there, I have to stop. So it's been herky-jerky. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Nice.
And what have you been up to, Gord?
What about you, Gord?
Thank you for the assist, Kora.
Well, you know.
I played the story, and yeah, Garage just brought it up in chat, and I kind of want to touch on it.
I was going to, yeah.
JQ is currently going to do what we're calling a player blackout in protest of, and I'm not gonna pretend I have not WW'd since Pathfire launched because of my own reasons, but the JQ commanders have decided that due to the burnout and the simple fact that we have lost quite a few big guilds and you know, quite a percentage of our coverage and population, we have still been locked out as a full server. As I understand it, this is a manual process. I'm not sure why we're still full. We've had one of our guildies pretty much give up on transferring over to JQ with us from BG, which is kind of silly. But despite that fact, you can call it what you want, but it seems like BG is able to add guilds, while JQ has not been able to add any guilds. We've not been paired. And the Glicko, as far as I know, the Glicko rating is still disabled and they're manually setting matches, and we're still getting kicked up into T1. So I'm not sure what's happening, but we're in blackout mode. We're not going to be playing in the Borderlands out of protest until they open our server. And I think that that's something that should be noted and respected. It's not any kind of entitlement or anything like that. I know our commanders have been discussing with...
they're exhausted.
Well, they've been reaching out to ANET as well, looking for a little bit of clarification, and there is none. We're still locked in. We're still... You guys still with me, Miko, Kora?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but I think my second computer's updating. Sorry about that.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, I think it's something that should be respected, and, you know, let's pay some attention to WW. If you're going to manually do something, let's manually do it, please, because I know we've lost a lot of population. 2 big guilds left us, and that should have opened it up to where at least our guildie should have been able to transfer. And transferring from BG to JQ has the 1,800 gems that it costs to transfer from T1 to T1, and hasn't been able to do it, and it's a little ridiculous. So hopefully this will get somebody's attention.
Yeah, I hope so too. In fact, I haven't seen him on Discord in a little while.
I think he gave up.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Not good. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Cajun Cujo. So I feel bad for the guy. Anyway, that's what it is. And as far as my activities in the game, I've spent far too much time in Reddit, which has put a very sour taste in my mouth, and I'm trying to shake that. But I'm very minimal right now between just general burnout and some of the issues that have been going through the game. I play very minimally right now. I did enjoy the story. We got through that.
Yeah, I haven't been through the whole thing yet.
It's
so
good. It's good. I gotta give him that. It's good.
So good.
I don't know about so good, but it's good. Let's
good.
start with it's good.
I think it's so good. So much lore, which means for me, so good.
Yeah.
I do like the area. I like the map.
Yeah, that's what
I
we're
just
gonna be
like that
talking about.
style for some reason. It appeals to me.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the goings on. I mean, I have the guild set up in WoW if anybody's interested out there. So
Even I'm playing it. It's a little difficult
it's a little difficult to get through,
play, but
I'm just remembering it was over 10 years ago the last time I tried to play it, and I just remember grinding.
And there's a lot.
Where's
that's
the story?
changing.
Where's the story? How do I find the story? Where am I supposed to go? Couldn't figure it out, and so I quit.
There's a lot of changes and whatnot, which make it a little bit more appealing. But to each their own. Just PM me and I can get you squared away.
Yeah.
yeah.
But this is a Guild Wars 2 podcast. So let's
having more
focus on
fun,
that.
I think, talking in Discord about what we're doing because we haven't even met up yet.
Guild Wars is my game. I'm gonna play Guild Wars
That's cool.
every day.
I am too. I'm taking Mo's advice and letting somebody else pay my way through the game. So
There you go.
makes
That
everybody
works, right?
happy. That's what he said. So, all
I
right.
mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I want something, I put out the hey, I'll do a commission of your character. That's really just me saying like, hey, I need a sugar somebody to buy me this thing that I want, and I'll give you something in exchange, because I'm poor.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna move on. We do have a little bit of news that we're gonna go through. We're gonna touch on some of the patch notes and stuff. But like I said, we are not. We're not gonna be as journalistically focused. So we will give some news, what we decide to cover here and there, and that's what we're doing next. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back! Woo!
Yay!
It's a good one. So we did have a very big patch this week. That's really what we're going to focus on for our news. We're not going to break everything down, but I wanted to touch on some of the things that came out. Of course, the Living Story launched, and we are in part 1 of our Living Story review. This show, we're going to cover the map. Next week, we'll cover the story because this is our makeup for the Thanksgiving week. So we'll be doing another show next week.
We will.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the surprise faces. That's okay.
Sure.
So this is our makeup week. We're doing so this week we're doing the map. Next week we're going to cover the story. So we're going to kind of skip past that and go to the new focus. A new legendary came out, and it is a focus, and it's pretty badass. I feel sorry for hashtag over at Heroes Hosts of Ascalon. Someday that scepter is going to come, hashtag. Soon it's going to come. I feel it. I feel it. What do
I'm
you guys
sure
think
they'll
of the
get it
focus?
before I get my commander spoon.
What did you guys think of the focus?
I didn't even look at it yet.
It is the most
I'm horrible.
altering
I didn't look either.
legendary out there. It's crazy good. It looks good.
So when it's stowed, it's a book, a big book.
Mm-hmm.
And when you enter combat, it transforms your hand into like this giant purple claw thing, and then the book is in front of you. It's
nice.
I
Like the
don't- I think
purple
it looks
lantern.
better. Kinda. Yeah. It's definitely different. That's for sure. Different than anything they've done in the
I'm
past.
looking
is.
it up
It's-
right now.
It's
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Mhm.
It's probably the best legendary they've released in a while.
Oh, it is a pretty book.
Yeah.
Look for the
Are you-
transformation.
Looking for the transformation? Yeah.
Oh, and it like floats in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
pretty
your
sweet.
hand is a lobster claw.
It's a big claw.
I think
Okay, dang it! Now y'all gonna make me go look.
I think
Here,
it has ties
I can give you the link,
to-
Gallios.
Yeah, I think it has ties to Malik. I'm not sure though. I haven't looked
It's
at it
called
that
the
deep.
Binding of Apos. Superior Sigil of Demon Summoning is the sigil that it comes with.
Oh
I
wow.
put the link in the Discord chat or host chat. I like that it's a book. Who's Epos?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's somebody we meet.
Mm.
It's like a eyeball. It's like the Eye of Sauron on the cover.
It's demonic, so that
Yeah,
was a
it's
little
weird.
strange. So that
it makes-
came. The only
Makes
thing
your eyes demonic.
the only thing I have to say about that is that there is a little bit of controversy around this because we were assured way back in the day before Path of Fire launched that these would remain Heart of Thorn legendaries, which they have. However, you can also use the map presence from Path of Fire. The difference is that you do your map clearing in Heart of Thorns and you just get your present or your gift, where in Path of Fire you have to pay 23,000 karma in order to get your gift after you beat the map, which I'm not sure why they made that change. My impression was, from what it sounded like at first, somebody brought it up in the AMA that it was Path of Fire only, I believe. And Mike Z, who, might as well say Mike Z is now the game director, he said that was not intentional and they were going to look into it. I'm not sure if they changed it or what happened with it, but I don't know why they kind of reneged on that.
Trying to make the connection to the new content instead of looking backwards. I don't know.
But they were
I will
supposed
say,
to be released with Heart of Thorns, and they were Heart of Thorns Legendary. Series 2 was supposed to be Heart of Thorns.
Yep. I don't know. I will say I did just look up Epos, and there is an NPC in game called Epos Hookgill, who is the last char of the Hook Warband, and it seems like it's an old char and is guarding a lake in Plains of Ashford.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
weird.
I'm wondering if there's a connection or if it's a different Epos that we're going to see in game. I would think there's a connection to this Epos though, and maybe why he's the last survivor.
I don't know. That's just strange. But I mean, that's it. I mean, the new focus looks good. And that's that. I mean, they also did some Path of Fire world polish. They touched up some of the maps and cleaned up some of the bugs there. Also some general polish and bug fixes. And then it only took, 2 years? We got our key ring! Yay! We finally got our key ring. So you just have to
Yay
go
for the key
through
ring.
and consume all your keys, and that adds it to your wallet. And now we have some happy free shared inventory slots and bag slots and whatnot.
They were listening to you. They heard. It just took a
Well,
while.
now I need my pre-made armor slots.
Yes. Now I want to be able to click this button and it's my armor and it's my stats and it's my whatever, instead of like right now I dread having to switch from my raid build to something else. And then if I want to switch back, because I have a terrible memory.
So
Yeah.
you
Twitch
just
is
want the
jacking
build
up really
templates.
bad.
Yes, build templates. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't do anything
Mhm.
about Twitch. It's nothing on my end. My CPU
Yeah.
usage is minimal.
It's over here too.
Yeah, I apologize. I know something's going on with Twitch, so I apologize for the stuttering, but there's just nothing I could do on it. So back to it. Competitive currencies were also added to the wallet. So some of the PvP currencies and WW currencies were added to the wallet. I'm not sure exactly what currencies they were, but they are back in the wallet. So that's good, you know. Then we got the new raid wing, which I don't think anybody should have been surprised that it deals with the underworld and Doom. Doom.
Oh man, I hope
Yeah.
y'all are gonna video this when
Yeah.
y'all do it.
Well, we had plans to do it with the raid group this week. However, this week is my board game night on Saturday, so I will be playing
Yeah.
board games.
Oh no! Well, I've got a Christmas party myself, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to
There's-
watch it anyway.
There's only a handful of the really top tier raid groups that have cleared the full wing. It kicks things
tough.
up a notch.
Yeah.
Everyone's really excited of the level of I guess skill cap that you need to try it out, take it on.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And I'm still in the training group for the last raid.
Well, the thing of it
Alright.
is I know I I participate in raids, but I don't think I'll ever be the guy that clears every single raid each week.
Mhm.
I don't have the motivation other than trying to defeat the boss and
I just
building my
want the
skills.
story. I just
Yeah.
want to see the lore. That's all I want.
Yeah. So there was also some a lot of Fractal updates that came with the new
Mhm.
Fractal that we streamed for the pre-show, Twilight Oasis, and we'll be touching on our impressions of that in the next segment. They updated Mistlock instabilities, a lot of improved environment art and lighting, added new encounters. They rearranged the beginning fractals, so there's a new order to the fractals too. So one is now it's not. I don't think it's urban anymore. I think it's volcanic. Is the level 1 fractal. There's a bunch of different things.
Now, what's the point in just rearranging their numbering?
I think for flow. I think for
What do you mean, like story flow?
encounter, there's learning certain mechanics first. You're muted, Gallios. You're muted again.
Damn it, that was a good line too. Shoot.
Say it again. We'll pretend.
No, it's already passed. Keep going.
I think it's just learning to crawl before you walk. I think I think that's what it seemed like to me. I looked at it very quickly, but it seemed to me like it was more like Volcanic has different has a lot. Underground is very difficult to start with. It's very chaotic, and that's the one where you're rushing Ascalon City, and the front gate is not very forgiving. There's a bunch of ballista.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ballista and arrow cart in front of Siege Master Dolphy, and
Dolphy is a poop.
Well, Dolphy's really good, but Dolphy in game is a poop. let's make that clear.
Yes, sorry. Yes. Thank you for the correction.
So there was a bunch of different things. Karma reward formula has been simplified, so that should be better. Tier and mastery experience rewards and fractals have been standardized so that the tiers 1 through 4 respectively give 2, 4, 8, and 12 units of mastery experience. Standardized fractal encryption rewards for all fractals with the exception of Nightmare and Shadow Observatory. New account augmentations can be purchased from Dearwar.
Dearwar.
Yeah, that's it. I can't say it. Who is
A
partner. He's in the game now as a little Asura, so he was pretty stoked about that, and congrats to him. They added ascended rings and accessories and so on and so forth. So there's quite a bit. They changed which fractals appeared at scales 1 through 7, and again, I think that was just more for a better flow. Learning, just letting people learn some of the mechanics before they jump right in. So, and then with the Hall of Chains raid, which is Wing 5 that was just added, there was a bunch of updates to Spirit Veil, Salvation Pass, Stronghold of Faithful, and a bunch of general ones. Miko, have you seen anything?
I haven't raided yet this weekend is when I'll raid, but I know that the big thing is that they allowed some of the bosses to take weakness as a condition, which I think they kept it out of Keep Construct, VG, Veil Guardian, and McLeod, who's at the end of Escort and Stronghold of the Faithful. So it's just those 3 bosses that still are, I guess, immune to weakness.
Yeah, but still, that's a big...
it's a big change.
Guys, you have to do that on your page, buddy.
What? Dang it. Okay. You saw me trying, right?
Yeah, you did good. You did good, buddy. So,
I suck.
some more stuff that came
amazing.
through. Structured player versus player. Players can no longer mount or glide in the free-for-all arena in the Heart of the Mist, and that was about it. We had some Black Lion Trading Company gem store updates. The resplendent Avilian Raptor Mount was added for 2,000 gems. A new Alonian landscape die kit containing 6 exclusive colors is now available in the special category gem store for 125 gems. And for 7 days, you can get us the Mistlock Sanctuary pass key for 1,000 gems. So that was everything that came in. It was a pretty big patch.
Yep.
It was close to a gig.
I do
So-
like the Raptor Mount because it makes it look like a peacock, and it's pretty. But I'm poor, so cannot buy. But I think it's cool.
I'm poor too.
Me too.
I just spent a lot of money on a new PC, so I'm really poor.
Oh.
I will just skip my comment.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of it, but kudos to those who like it.
Yeah.
You'll get good fun out of it, I think.
I like the idea of running around on a peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fun. So it makes me excited to see what else they're gonna do that I can't afford, but I will hopefully think is pretty.
I'm hoping that they release another bundle pack of mount skins for Winter's Day.
That will also
Seeing
be
as how-
2,000 gems.
I'm hoping they release
How much
individual
was the one for
mount
Halloween
skins.
one?
It was 2,000 gems on sale for 1,600
1,600,
gems.
right?
But it was 2,000 gems.
Mm-hmm.
2,000 gems. I'm going to be as nice about this as I can, but 2,000 gems is the price point that Mo has picked for all of the mount skins that come out, whether it's a package or a singular mount skin. So.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
The one thing
I couldn't afford it. I wouldn't pay that
Yeah,
anyway.
I can't afford it.
For the
It's
bundles,
just-
it's what, 2K? So that breaks down, if it's 5 mounts on a bundle, it's what, 400 gems
it's 400 gems per.
each?
Yeah. The mentality behind releasing things, completely removing my opinion from it. The mentality for releasing all these skins at 2,000 gems is that it is harder for people to do a gem to gold conversion and just buy the skin,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah,
gold
yeah.
to gem conversion from in-game gold, and people actually have to spend money and they get a better return on it, is what Mo said, and that is the price point that we're going to see these skins come out at. So that's
I mean,
about it.
he did in his response mention the metrics that they're seeing. So I think that's also probably the thing that's driving it the most is the metrics that they see on their sales. So I mean, I'm not saying that I agree, but it's just like, okay, well, if people are buying it, and that's what they're seeing that people are buying, then that's what they're gonna keep putting it out on.
I can say, and I could say this reasonably well-tempered. I feel that this was the price point that Mo wanted from launch. I feel that the past 2 releases prior to this week's release in the gem store was constructed. I think that it was a risk that they took putting out the RNG mount, but I think that they also purposely put out a full price mount because I think that they had an inclination that people would complain more about the RNG and thereby cemented the price. It's the price they picked. If people are comfortable paying that price, that's fine. Again, I've debated this way too much on Reddit, and my nerves are really raw with it. So that's all I'm going to say.
For it is, I'm never going to shame anybody for spending money in the gem store if they want to spend money in the gem store.
I do want to say real quick, though, I think it's pretty crappy of Mike O'Brien to say that, hey, basically the way that I took what he said in his statement was, why are you people that don't want to buy these gem skins complaining because the people that are buying the gem skins are basically paying your way through the game? We're making our profit margin. The people are getting the skin that they want, and you're getting to play for free, so why are you angry? I think that's a pretty crappy way to put it. And I think that's what's bothering me the most about the whole situation. But I'm not gonna say anything against anybody who buys it.
I hadn't read his
Response post in Reddit.
Yeah, sorry, I thought somebody was knocking on my door. I hadn't read his response post about it, so I didn't see that. I don't know what his intent behind that, like what his inner thoughts were. But yeah, I mean, for me, I want to buy everything in the gem store. I want to own it all. And the fact that it is, in my current position and financial situation, it is out of my price point. I can't. And because they are so expensive, and we know that they're going to be releasing, many a month, many a year, I cannot afford it if I also want to be able to pay bills. And, so it's sad for me. I would love if it was.
It's the price point they picked. It's what we're getting in the gem shop for the next 2 years until the next expansion comes out.
Yeah.
And I think really after all is said and done, after all my debating for the past 2 weeks, the point that I would like to just walk away with and not and drop it and leave it is I want to support this game. I like this game. I want to play this game, and I want to support this game. And I'm not comfortable having to buy things that I don't want to buy to support it. And I'm not comfortable having somebody else pay my way through the game is how I feel. And it just proves to me that nothing in Guild Wars 2 is free. Nothing is, because you have to finance the free content.
Yeah. Well, for me, the frustration is I don't need somebody else to buy my way. I'd love to buy my way. I would love to buy everything in the gem store, but when a single item that I want is 2,000 gems, I cannot buy that, because then that's the the open the door. Well, what about all the other ones that I'm going to want that are also 2,000 gems? And they're not all available at the same time. So if I buy this one that I like now, well, what if I like the next one better? So it's just easier on me mentally to go, well, then I just won't buy anything ever.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm done with it. Yeah. So we had one more thing in news, I guess, that is optional. I don't know if you guys want to cover it. Miko, I'm leaving it up to you.
I think it's just another example of how the community reaction to the mount skins and the marketing basically strategy seems to be taking a toll on the devs. We did have a dev who posted something to their own personal Twitter account that basically saying that they didn't like it when people are being negative about the community. And I can understand that, but at the same time, it was almost like it felt a bit dismissive of the genuine concerns that people have about the price pointing and what we're seeing, the direction that the company may be going into when we are players that do love the game and we want to support it.
Yeah.
So
very well put.
Yeah. It's been rough. It's been rough for the past couple weeks, and I think the best thing for everybody to do, we've made changes on the show that are going to reduce my blood pressure, because I know I'm a big driver of a lot of salt, if people want to call it that, or a different way of looking at things is how I see it, and it's not the popular opinion. And we're going to sidestep that stuff and just kind of try and have fun with the game. The game is still good. And
the game is doing a lot of really good. I mean, the content that they're putting into the game is really good.
It is,
and I love it.
To me, it's silly to harp on a price point I mean, yes, it's so in your face and everything else. I'm gonna log in and play when I want to play, and I'm gonna move on and when I want to move on, and that's just where I'm going to leave it at this point.
And that's it.
Embrace the zen that is the Gallios way.
That's also the Kora way, just enjoy and be happy. And
I said it a long time ago, just play and have fun, man. And we got to let that other stuff go, I guess, and it's just, I'm not saying I wasn't upset about it either, because there's a lot of stuff that I would like to see to get. I mean, me, I like to buy something every now and then too, because I feel like I need to support the game. If I can spend $10 to $12 a month, I'm basically paying what it would be to have a subscription. So I don't have a problem with that.
But that $10 to $12 a month from you and from me and maybe from 100 other people doesn't support the release of free content. So the free content has to be financed by
not when now the you and the me and the others that would have spent $10 here and there every month, or maybe even $15 if something was really cool, are now not spending it. So
what it comes down to is the trend in the gaming industry this is the trend in the gaming industry. They can make
Oh, I
more
know.
money
It's
off
everywhere.
of a small percentage of people, and it's on my last nerve. So I mean, things happen, and that's that. We got a great
Yeah, we'll burn
patch.
that bridge. We're done.
Yeah, we got a
I'm
great
happy
patch, and that's
that-
where we're leaving it. I am doing a
I'm
reaction
happy
video
that
this
we're going to
weekend.
go back to being happy
Yeah.
and that I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about being called a Care Bear because
Care
I just
Bear,
want to. I am, but it called it as an insult because
Yeah.
I am still able to find things that I enjoy about the game. Like
No,
I'm supposed to play
absolutely.
this game and be bitter all the time and like complain about everything. Like no,
Well, I think
still
that's-
play it.
that's
I
the-
love it.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that I think I find the most
Mhm.
disappointing within the community is that we then become this polarized thing. And
Yeah.
this is one of the most welcoming communities, gaming communities out there.
Oh,
I
by
walked into other
far.
games and you just see toxicity in the map chats. And
But-
this community helps each other out.
They do.
Yeah.
And random acts of kindness. I had this is I'll save it for my shout out, but I had a player reach out to me this week. I'd put out on Twitter, I don't have an EU account, I can't afford one right now, and someone sent me a game code.
Oh,
Wow.
awesome.
What?
And that's
and
what
it's like,
shines
that's
about this
just-
community, yeah.
This community is just so giving.
And there's so many
Um,
people
and
like that, and
You
it
see that
gets
so many times.
drowned out.
Gets drowned
I
out in the
don't like-
miasma of crud.
I don't like being
Yeah.
called a bitter vet, which to me is a ridiculous statement. If your
Yeah,
game's
I
so
don't like
great,
the name call because it
Yeah.
minimizes everybody's position. It's like
exactly.
stop putting labels on each other. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
each
Just
other
let
out.
people enjoy
Yeah,
the game the
enjoy
way
the
they
game.
want to enjoy the game.
That's me.
I don't play
Play
the way
the way you
Gord
want.
plays.
I still believe that.
Yeah.
You play more than I do now, Kora.
I have for yeah, wow.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's that. That's where we're gonna leave it. This is what's kind of driving the shift in our focus right now, and we don't want to be. I don't want to be. I put a lot of time into this show, and I don't want this show to be the bi-weekly bashing.
Right.
If I feel very strongly about something, like this weekend, if I have time, I'm probably gonna do a reaction video to Mo's statement, only because I feel very strongly and I want to cover it and put my opinion out there. And if I try and put my opinion out there on social media, I'm attacked. I've been told I'm a bitter vet. I've been told I'm straight out wrong. And, it doesn't do anything to, let people just say their piece. So, but that's that. So, right
Cool.
now I have more fun, and my Zen is in my garrison on Draenor. All right, so that's gonna do it for the news. Like I said, in the future we'll be covering some news, but not all news. And as we make our shift to more of a fun and loving podcast,
So
Embrace
much
the
love
kindness.
and kindness.
and kindness. All right, so with that, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our review of the new Fractal and the map. What is it? Domain of Istan. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. So if you joined us for the pre-show, you saw us play the new Fractal, and that was my first time through. And nobody else went through first either, right? That was everybody's first
First
time
time.
through.
No, it was so fun.
So it was awesome.
It was.
It
I kinda want
was.
to see what it does at higher tiers.
It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a little jarring to be in the position where you're basically fighting for
Evil.
Palawa Joko. So it was.
Everybody wanted that praise Joko, right?
Yeah.
Not me.
You got that experience.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good.
It was fun.
I love
It was
how
so
they pulled
fun.
it off where you're hearing was it Diasa saying like, I know you don't want to do this, but we've got to stabilize the fractal, so like you've got to go kill sun spears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Token.
So just to explain, Token, what we do is it's good form to have a quick bumper between each segment, just so that your audience kind of knows that you're moving into the next area.
What it was once upon a
So-
time, Gord actually let us go get a
Yeah.
drink of
We
water
would go
and go to the
pee or get a
restroom.
drink or do
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's when Gord was doing 20 hours of post-processing of
Yes.
the podcast. So that
This
ended
is not my
quite
problem.
quickly.
This is not a Kora problem.
All right.
Kora problem is not having drink or going to the bathroom for
Yeah.
4 hours.
And I just want to say GG to Token, who's up at 2 a.m. to watch
Yes.
the show. 3 a.m. now. All right, so back to it. So the cool thing that I found in the Fractal was that the Fractal boss is a living sun spear who's a dervish who you kill, who ends up being... Spoiler alert. We'll cover that next week, I guess. But I thought that was pretty insane. And I was spoiled a little bit. I was listening to Relics of War and Spirit on Relics of War brought it up. And I was just like, oh, that is so badass. So
It was really good. I
It was really
love
good.
that the fractals more and more are tying in more and
That's-
more to current lore that is happening.
yeah.
Whereas, I mean, some of the past ones were really cool. They're fun. It's interesting, but you're like, okay, this is really cool and interesting, but like, the heck? Why is there a giant rock man, and why is he
But
chained to a giant cliff?
I think maybe not every single thing, but I think eventually they're going to tie all that stuff into the story.
I hope
And
so.
I think the uncategorized fractal has a chance of being explained in the next chapter of the living story,
Which we'll talk about next week.
which we'll talk about next week. so overall, I mean, we played tier 16, so it was low level. I mean, I would hate to see that boss fight on, in tier 4. I'm sure that is gonna be crazy. And does anybody know if that came with a challenge mode?
I
It's
don't know.
I have no
set
idea.
low.
I think it might have one, but I'm not sure. Don't
It's-
quote me on that.
I don't think it's right before my Trin.
They moved my turn around.
Yeah, my Trin
I
is.
do-
I think my Trin is 95 now, but I think the Twilight Oasis. I looked at it quick, so I could be wrong. I think that was 93. So I think there was a fractal in between. So it might not have a challenge mode, but maybe eventually they're going to add challenge modes to all the tier 4. At least maybe the top 10, 90 up.
Mhm.
That would be cool.
It'd be cool.
So, but I mean, we were able to beat it. It was really cool. A lot of lore in this one.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I was
have-
just looking at the notes, but I'm not seeing anything mentioning
It was
a
cool.
CM.
There was a lot of lore.
Okay.
It ties in with the current Living Story season. So it makes you, if you like fractals, it makes you want to play the Living Story season to see where things end up. And if
Mhm.
you like Living Story season and you want to see how things got to where they are, then you have to go play the fractal. And I love that
Yeah.
it's driving each other towards each other.
It is. It's pretty.
Mhm.
It's cool seeing these tie-ins, and I know in the AMA, Jessica Price had said that she is kind of the Living Story editor, I believe. I forgot how they described her position, but her and other key people are sitting in all the meetings because there's still 3 teams doing the Living Story. But
Mhm.
I mean, I would imagine that the Fractal team got involved in that as well, and all that cohesion. That's nice. You got both sides of the coin.
It's
in
stuff
this
that it
release.
feels like was missing before, where it really felt like, okay, there's the fractal team, and then there's this team, and then there's that team, and they've all got their stories, and none of the stories know that the other story exists at times. So this way, it does really feel like somebody has got the overview and is saying like, oh, hey, yeah, this would be really cool if somehow we could connect it to this. And just that mid-person talking between the two teams and getting them both going like, oh, you're right, we should make it connect. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. And you see that, they put in some of the season 1 encounters in as fractals. So you get that they were probably trying to think of how to do it
Mm-hmm.
before. But now it's like it's just everything is starting to gel for them really well in their narrative design, which is
It is.
really just the storytelling has just been kicked up.
I hope so, because
Yeah.
we can't afford
improved.
another episode 6. Like,
The
was it?
swapping.
No, season 3, episode 6.
Season
Whether
3.
they swapped it or not, that
Yeah.
was a hot mess.
It's not a hot mess if you swap it like you said, Gord. It does feel a little messy
Well,
the way it's currently in game.
with the silliness of the Shining Blade and stuff, that's more my
Yeah.
concern. The way they kind of downplayed the tone of that. But I mean, hey, things happen, mistakes happen, or whatever.
I have to wonder who was still on the writing staff at that time, because there's no way to like look up the credits and go, okay, these were the people working on it, which I'm sort of glad given how violently mean some people can be at times. Like, I don't want them to point anybody out or single anybody out.
They don't.
But
need to.
I would be curious to know, were they operating with a full writing staff? I don't think they were.
They weren't.
They are now.
Yep.
But that's a
That could
recent
be.
thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. But
Yeah.
I mean, either way, you know, the tie-in from the Fractal to the current Living Story chapter was really nice. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was good. It goes easy because
Yeah.
Brooklyn comes.
I guess I'll find out the rest of it when I finish it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Okay, so I got a preview with the Fractal tonight.
you did.
Awesome.
You did.
Then it ought to be fun.
How much of it
I'll
have
look
you
forward
played
to
through, Gallios?
Oh man, you asking me to remember what I did yesterday? I'm trying to remember. Where am I?
Did you do the first instance in Amnoon?
Dragon Brand?
Yes.
Brandstorm?
I know.
Yeah, you know the Brandstorm. Yeah, I just finished that. I just finished that. So, yeah.
All right, so you got a
Did
little.
you fight
got a
the
little
Risen
I
ways
think
to
it.
go.
I think what was really cool is I actually took the time to panoramic it and like pull back and like look around. That is some badass artwork, y'all. I mean, that is serious badass artwork. And seeing the dragons just swoop through the clouds and stuff every once in a
We
while.
are
was
now
really awesome.
stepping into the story, which is what we're not covering.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry.
yeah,
It's all I had to contribute.
that start area, when like you turn and see the Brandstorm, or like non-story, this is not spoiler because it's the beginning. That's where I saw the two suns that I posted in our Discord chat in the screenshot, where there's very clearly two suns. And when did you
there was not
This
two
was in the-
suns interior. It's in our Discord.
That looks like a lens flare.
It
It
looked
might
like
be
a
a lens
flare.
flare.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
I mean, I moved
Yeah.
around trying to figure out if it was a lens flare or whatever, but to me it looked like very clearly two suns, two distinct points of
It
light.
kind of looked that way to me too. I haven't gotten back into game to take a look at it, but
Well, because I mean, especially because no matter where I moved, those two suns kept their location.
Okay. And that was in Amnoon?
Yeah, go to the
I'll have to-
starting area of the very first chapter of the Living Story season, and I'll go back in and see if I see it. Maybe it was a bug. I don't know.
I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, but I was very confused.
Oh crap! Here comes
Oh,
the tinfoil hat.
I have a theory.
I have a funny feeling I know what the theory is going to be, but I'm going to let you explain it. By the way, I was going to say, I just noticed you're growing out your beard, aren't you?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Oh, JB's going to be proud of you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, you want my theory?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I want your theory.
My theory is that I don't know how popular this is going to be.
It
I
doesn't
think-
need to be popular. This is for fun, man.
I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2 is going to be around for quite some time,
I hope.
like for another
How is this
10
a
years
theory?
or more, because instead I've been screaming Guild Wars 3 for a long time. I have
Yeah,
been.
you have.
But no Guild Wars 3. I think that with the 6 leaving, they're creating a rift in the universe, and the next installment of Guild Wars will be Guild Wars Mobile.
I totally knew you were going to say that.
Because I said it on Discord. That's my tin hat theory. Tinfoil hat theory.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
I mean, it is.
We're
a
not
theory.
going mobile.
you say that.
I won't be able to play.
I won't play
Ever.
I'm not even gonna.
I
get
would
into
play.
that.
My iPhone is my handheld console. It is my. I don't use Game Boys. I don't use the Nintendo Switch or the
I bought a
PSP
Switch.
or whatever.
It's awesome.
I love my iPhone for downloading mobile games, and I play mobile games every day on my phone. So if there was a
Lineage
Guild
2
Wars
mobile. Lineage 2 mobile made $408 million last quarter.
mobile
for
games
NC
are a
Soft.
legitimate thing.
What the heck
Smartphones
is a
yeah,
lineage?
are a
absolutely.
legitimate console. And anybody who says different, because there are still people who's like, yeah, but they're not real games. It's just
They're
a
not.
bunch of like sock moms playing games in the grocery store.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's my theory, and we're gonna move on. So the map. So
I'm okay
so
with it.
Gallios, did you play Domain of Istan? That's the new map. Did you make it to the new map?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, after we do the first part, we end up in Domain of Istan, which is a pretty decent sized map. So to me, I think somebody did a comparison on Reddit today, but to me, it seems to be a mixture. It is definitely bigger than the season 3 Living Story maps, but not as big as a Path of Fire map.
Let me just say, I am so glad there are no mastery travel tube lava flow root vine things.
Yet.
Thank God. I
Yet.
did not like that
Yet.
gameplay mechanic
Yeah.
in season 3 at all. I was pretty vocal about it the entirety of season 3 that I did not like it. I still to this day haven't trained a single one of those masteries because they don't really matter. You don't really
Yeah.
need them.
Well, this map's mastery does matter. You cannot. They introduced a new magic. It's volatile magic, which is the new living 4 currency, which I kind of expected. I didn't expect to still use unbound magic, and it makes sense to me. I have to say it makes sense to me that they did it, but you have to fill that mastery in order to collect the volatile magic, which is
Yeah.
more
And
magic
felt more
from
meaningful
Kralkatorrik.
in
Yeah,
that sense.
Yeah.
it does.
And
So-
I didn't realize what they were at first. Like I didn't make that mental
Yeah.
connection. So I kept hitting these little glowing balls of fire, and then they'd explode and like knock me back, and I'd get
Yeah.
so annoyed
Yeah.
until I realized,
Mhm.
oh, it's a mastery.
Yep.
And I went and I had 2 mastery points, so I unlocked it right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen. Then, but I saw a message flash up saying you've not unlocked the mysteries of whatever to
Yeah.
collect volatile
I mean,
magic.
I
And I was
saw
like,
that
what?
too, but like I'm really good at ignoring things.
Oh yeah, yeah. I no, believe me, I bounced off 5 of them before I realized that they were. Before I saw the red text that said, "Get your mastery up," or whatever it says.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all right, so this is obviously Istan from Nightfall, and it did capture most of the areas from the starter areas.
That was a starter map
Yeah.
of Nightfall.
There's-
Kamadan.
Well,
Kamadan.
no, it's
Kamadan.
Paladon. It's Paladon. Let's get it right.
So
It's
I'm never gonna call
Paladon.
it that. I'm
That's
never
the
gonna
name of
call
it.
Me and
that.
you, Miko. Me and you.
Me and
Yeah.
you too, but
And then the
it
Great
is
Hall,
Paladon.
Sunsphere Great Hall.
It is. It is
It's
on
a
the
Morning
map
Crescent.
because this is Joko's territory.
Yeah. So
Ish.
all of them, like all the starter areas were there. There was what is the village? It starts with a C. I can't think of the name of it. Champion? No, it's
There's Champions Dawn, and then the other one
Champions
is
Dawn.
Chu.
it's like Chukuk or something. That's
Churir
Chukwagin.
Village, Chobek Village.
That's
something
it.
Like that.
There you go.
I should know this.
It's Chobek or Chabek village.
Yeah.
Chobek, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
Chobek
looking it up.
Village. Champions Dawn. The Astralarium is in there. The
Yes.
the Morning Crescent Great Hall, which was originally the Sunspear Great Hall, but the Morning Crescent replaced the Sunspear, so that makes sense. Kamadan, which is now called Palawadon, and even the Corsair area has built up into basically a Corsair village. So basically the whole
Field.
what was that?
ahead. Churir Fields.
Yeah.
Churir Fields and then the Churir Village.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that
Yep.
was the
Mhm.
very first tutorial area in
Mhm.
Nightfall when you start a
Yeah.
new character. So we got most of the starter area. There's still the west portion of the island of Camadon.
Istan.
Or Istan, yeah. But
Yeah.
most of the areas are there.
Yep.
The first city is there. So
My favorite lore.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Oh, you're gonna geek out.
Yeah.
But I
Oh.
mean,
No.
the map is great. The map does have a meta. I know some people have found that you can multi-loot it. The Paladin meta can be multi-looted, and hopefully that gets nerfed quick or whatever.
Yeah.
I know some people are kind of complaining that people are calling out for it to be nerfed. I don't think they're calling out for the meta to be nerfed. I think they're calling out for the multi-box or the multi-loot to be.
Well, they did
done.
it for Tarir.
Some people are
Did
saying
they?
that Tarir was worse because it directly affected Ecto. I know that it's the Kralkatoric currencies. Kralkatite.
Progatoric shards.
Yeah, shards and stuff that you can get from it. But you can multi-loot it. There's instructions how, and we'll see if that gets nerfed or not. But whatever. So overall, the feel of the map is pretty good. The biggest thing that I found interesting is that they have kept Paragon and Dervish in the game, which makes sense to me because if Alonia is cut off, of course that's where those two professions came from, and of course they're so strong. The only thing that didn't make sense to me is that Dervish still channeled the 5 human gods, which was kind of weird to me with the way Palajoko twists everything, that he is like the best, I'm the best around. So for them to still kind of channel avatars of the gods, and even in the Fractal, I noticed that he said to the boss when she was dead, your gods can't protect you now, you know. So that was the only weird thing to me.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that like it was the oversimplification is, well, this is the skills that they used and like we're trying to honor that. But within lore, yeah, you would think because they're not praising the human gods, and one, they're dead. Two, it's Joko was the thing that can beat all the things. So you'd think that would give them, like, they'd be cut off from those gods. They'd be cut off from that access. And mentally that, like, yeah, you're not worshiping them, you're worshiping him, so you can't access that magic anymore. Yeah, that's a little confusing. Yeah. I mean, I guess it just comes down to the simplification of it's a cool game mechanic and they wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It made sense lore-wise. I didn't have a problem with it, aside from trying to fight the damn things. They're tough.
It didn't bother me. I didn't notice. Like, I wouldn't have noticed unless she had said something. I would have just,
It's
like,
just
I did,
AOE
just
spam
happily.
from hell.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to break out my spellbreaker because my berserker. Well, I kind of run a hybrid berserker, PS berserker, really, where I stack my toughness, but I still use the bow and the sword and torch, and it's not very effective there against those guys. I got down quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to look at my spellbreaker. But I'm not a big fan of spellbreaker in open world. So
My NG did good.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, the
Hell's
Spellbreaker's
strong.
not very fun in open world. It's great for World v World. It's fun in World v World,
yeah,
but
it's not great in open world though.
yeah, it didn't feel good.
I mean, maybe it will be against these guys because you get a lot of dispels or whatever. But I'll play with it. I'll try something else.
Hollow
It's a
Smith still
fun
kicks
build.
butt.
It made me play Warrior. I never play Warrior, and I'm enjoying Warrior in World v World now.
I mean, I beat Path of Fire on my spellbreaker. Yeah. So.
Cool.
Any other notes about the map?
It's just fun seeing.
I haven't seen
the old
enough of it yet
places
to
again.
get super stoked, but I can't wait to get through it because, like, I just been doing so many other things. Just need some time.
I love the Corsair Flotilla
Yeah.
and how it is a callback to a character from Guild Wars 1.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I will leave it at that.
Yeah, there's quite
Yeah.
a few callbacks to the heroes in Guild Wars 1.
Mm-hmm.
Both
I think
in
it's-
I
Path of
keep
Fire
hearing this. I keep hearing this, and I keep seeing it in Twitter, and I cannot wait to find out who it is.
Mhm. Yep. You'll be happy, I
I
think.
have some
Yeah.
I have some theories, but I'm not sure who it is yet because I haven't gotten there.
I just really want to go play Nightfall. Because there's
does,
so
yeah.
much that it's been so long since I played Nightfall that when I was playing with Tankin last night, he's like, "Hey, do you remember this thing?" Like there was one game mechanic. He's like, "Remember this?" "Oh, I'm having flashbacks." I'm like, "Wait, what? Why?" And he's like, "You don't remember?" I'm like, "Honestly, no."
Oh, I remembered
It's
every bit
been
of
like
it.
10 years since I played it.
Yeah.
I think I've blocked out the most traumatic of the stuff and just remembered how much I loved the story. So I really do want to go back and play it again so that I can remember running through it and see those things and then come back in, replay the living story, replay the map, and go, that's right. This thing here and that thing are now here and amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I started running Nightfall on a new character just before Path of Fire launched, and I did a couple of streams where we were just running around checking out the areas, and it helped me remember where things were located when I was running around in it. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Just a lot of nostalgia callbacks. It was just I was excited.
For me, it's more the characters. I don't get the callbacks from the land or the game mechanics or whatever as much. For me, it really is the characters, the heroes that I ran with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And coming back in and being like, legacy, amazing.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was the map. I mean, seeing the switch from the Sunspear Great Hall to the Morning Crescent Great Hall and how much that's changed. The Astrolarium has a very interesting meta.
Yeah.
I like that. That was really cool. So I mean, overall, the map was pretty good. I like it. It's it had a good flow to it. I was a little lost at first because I didn't quite remember where the Astrolarium was. So I ended up running to the Morning Crescent Great Hall and getting shot out. And then I ran over to Paladon and was like,
I swam around the whole island first.
Went around the whole island and stuff like that. And then I finally found it, and I mean, it's good. There's a lot of good elements to it.
I know I'm looking at the Istan map from Guild Wars 1 right now, and I think the Astrolarium, they've placed it, and I'm going to have to go back into Guild Wars 2 now and check it, but it feels like the Astrolarium is a bit to the west of Zaylon Breach, which is now called Zaylon Breach, so it might have been just either it grew or...
They might have had to shift it a little bit.
I think they made it grow.
Yeah, for me, within lore, I always just think of it like those types of retcons as like, well, they've got better cartography skills now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that kind of positioning doesn't bother me too much either. I mean, I look at it on Shaman's historical map.
Historical map.
I love that thing. But I mean, it makes sense if the Astrolarium grew a little bit. I believe that the Sunspear Great Hall did not change at all, other than getting slimy.
Yeah.
I think visually it was very similar, if not exact.
I'm sure they pulled the original assets and just dropped them into the new game's tools and went, okay, go at it with the new graphics.
Yeah.
And they actually added new assets in.
They did.
Which look really cool.
Which assets?
Some of the buildings.
Yeah.
And some textures are new.
They did.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It is.
It's kind of amazing what they're getting out of that engine.
Right?
In some sense.
It is. It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done upgrades to it. I mean, they're obviously getting new tech. Rather recently, they've added some new tech in particle effects and environmental effects, and even I want to say that I don't recall, like, going through the story instances of Path of Fire, the bound-in instance would change and advance and progress, and I don't think that's happened before Path of Fire. I think that's a new.
Yes.
I think that's new tech. So, I mean, good for them. They did a great job on this. I think that they're really being a good steward for moving this stuff. They're bringing enough in to where it makes sense and changing the landscape enough to make it feel like it's been 250 years since the last time we were there. And I mean,
definitely,
I like it. Overall, the map was. I was pretty happy with the map.
Me too.
All right. Anybody have anything else you want to add?
It's cool.
It's
Go play it.
fun.
It's fun.
So I remember the Bitterfrost map. I just slogged my way through it just to get to the end of the story so that I, could finish it and then get the heck out. And I, to this day, really don't want to ever go back to that map still. It's not a fun map for me. And this was a fun map. This is a map that felt for me like Corteria maps where I can go back to it at any time I want and just run around and experience it. Because there is so much to experience, and it's not tied to, oh, well, what's going to happen in a few months when everybody is on that map for that story episode.
They have the Paladin meta runs every 2.5 hours, I believe.
I think
It's either 2 hours.
at dusk.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one that's at dusk?
It's every 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes that event pops, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. So
which one is that?
Paladin. That's the map meta, and I hope they keep adding these map metas in because it's nice to go in there, especially on. It's almost like a world boss timer.
Yeah, I was about to say it feels like the new world boss system.
Yeah,
I loved the world boss train. I loved running around fighting all the bosses and collecting all your loot. And then world boss trains pretty much died because the bosses are all pretty easy now. Everybody sort of knows them. I'm not saying that they have 100%, but they're not what they used to be. And the world bosses aren't really some of them are, but for the most part, they're not really a challenge. Everybody sort of knows what to do at this point, and if you don't know what to do, you show up and somebody will you can quickly figure it out. Somebody will quickly tell you. And the metas, these are new. We're still trying to figure things out. Are we gonna get it or not? It's exciting. And once we get enough of them, it'll be the the world meta train, and go hit this one, then go hit that one, go hit that one.
My complaint has always been that once you maximize everything out and you get everything that's available for that currency in that map, there's really no reason to go back to it. And they're kind of disposable maps. But with that meta, I mean, and it depends if the next map doesn't have Crocotite or however you say it as a currency, then it might not be as viable to go back to. But at least there's something there. At least they're trying to inject some replayability into the maps, and it's a beautiful map. So
I hope it's just Crocotite for all of season 4, because then it makes I can go to any map and I can collect the stuff, and then I can go to any map and I can get whatever I want. Whereas it really was Living Story season 3. Oh, I want this thing. Well, I have to farm on this map. And if it's something
I have a feeling that Crocotite is going to be that maps thing. And then the volatile magic will be like Unbound Magic, which it flowed between all of them. It was the common point.
Probably, which is a little disappointing for me.
Yeah.
But I think at least having that meta there will keep the map alive. Whereas I'm trying to recall if I've gone back to any of the season 3 maps since finishing them, and I don't really think I have.
If you want to send a trinket, with hot stats, it's a good thing to do.
But think about the way I play the game.
Yeah. No, I know.
There's no reason for me to go back and re-experience that map. And some of them actively drive me away from it, like Bitterfrost.
Yeah. All right, so Gallios, I know you're limited in your time. What do you give the map out of between 0 and 10? 10 being the best.
Man, what I've seen so far, it's a 10 for me because it's my style. Like that kind of thing, I'm I'm keyed in on. I like especially things like the small things. I don't know if other people notice, but like the little flocks of white birds that fly in the distance. I love that crap, man. It's very serene feeling. I'm digging it. It's like I give the map a 10.
All right.
I can't give it any less than that. For me, it's beautiful.
Miko, what do you give it?
I give it a 10. I've been enjoying all of the nostalgia, the callbacks, the lore. The only thing that I hate about the map is running into Awakened because they just spam you with the conditions, and I'm like,
no
damn
kidding.
You.
God, the conditions kick your butt.
They do.
Oh, I know it. I'm like, I need some Condi clear.
Kora, what do you give it?
Absolutely, it gets a 10. It is a map that I really had fun playing. It's a map I can see myself coming back to and playing more, and it's a map that it's going to take me a while to get all the meta stuff figured out and really get the flow of it, but not in a way that feels like I'm personally being punished. because I'm not strong enough to play the game. It just is so much fun, and there are so many callbacks to Guild Wars 1 that make it fun for me, and I'm hoping that if you didn't play the original Guild Wars 1, that it's just something that's like, oh, this is a cool thing, and maybe makes you want to go play the original game. So then you go buy it and you play it and you see and you make those more connections. So
Yeah, I think we all endorse that part of it too, by the way. Go play Guild Wars 1 if you've never done it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So to close it out, I'm going to give it a 10 based on location, lore, stuff like that.
We're all in agreement?
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
It was a good map.
Yeah.
It was a
really
good map. It was a beautiful
It
map.
was a good map.
So,
It was really good.
all right, good. So there we go. That's our breakdown of the map. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to close out the show.
Okay.
Oh, my thing. My thing's doing it again.
Mm.
Jesus Christmas.
Did you break the thing?
Oh, I don't know.
I think he broke the thing.
Oh. I got it. There we go. I figured it out. At 10 o'clock, my tablet goes into do not disturb mode. And it
Do not
immediately-
disturb.
Oh.
Miko, I'm very proud of you for drinking that vodka. That's pretty awesome.
So not
All right.
I just do. I have to be careful because of my.
Yeah. All right. So with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Yay!
Yay. All right, so that's going to do it for this show. Part 1 of the Daybreak review. Focus on the map and the Fractal. We enjoyed both thoroughly. And it's about time that we're all on the same page enjoying stuff.
I
Yes,
mean, I really
indeed.
am shocked that me and Gord voted the same way.
What you throw any kind of heavy Guild Wars lore in, and you got me, buddy. That's it. You have all my hearts.
Excellent.
I love Guild Wars 1. And just it's not just that it's Guild Wars 1. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you have the rose-colored glasses on." It's the amount of care that they put into
There
the
was a
location
lot.
and the lore and how they've taken the time to evolve and progress that lore so that it feels familiar, but it feels 250 years older and therefore newer. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I have to say I'm in some ways amazed, and I feel like that's an insult. I am so happy that it does honor Guild Wars 1 so much, because I think at least a couple of the new writers they hired weren't players.
yeah.
Like I don't think they played Guild Wars 1 or Guild Wars
Which means
2.
they did their homework.
They did their homework. I know
They
a
did
lot.
their
They should.
Several of
And they
them mentioned that they're
respected-
playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they respected the fact that the lore does matter. Like they're writers, so yeah, they know it matters. But it doesn't just matter for them, oh, I'm going to write new stuff and put it in. It matters, well, what came before me?
Mm-hmm. I'm just
And I
going to
need
put
to
it
know
right out
that.
there right now. Don't mess up my Guild Wars 1 lore. Get it right.
They've been doing some heartbreaking stuff,
Get it right.
with
That's all
it.
I'm saying. Get it right.
and it's been done well. But I mean, I'm sitting here playing and watching and learning and what happened to some of these characters that I love, and I'm just like, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah, we're going to cover that in detail next week. Part 2, the Daybreak review.
Yep.
So
I hope I'm
Gallios,
here.
Gallios, you have any shout outs, buddy?
I actually have another review in iTunes that just so happens to be a 5-star.
Ooh.
Then.
So we've got another 5-star review, and it's gonna be from Lucas Aurelius. I love that name. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Awesome cast. This podcast provides wonderful insight into all things Guild Wars 2, from a variety of perspectives. Between Gord and Kora, you get the sugar and spice, take on all the lore and story development in the game. Miko has been a wonderful addition to the podcast, bringing more gameplay analysis and another soothing female voice. And my man, Gallios, shows how even if all you want to do in Guild Wars 2 is playing some World v. World, in between having a career and a family, that too can be a rewarding gaming experience. Altogether, this cast shows that through gaming, you can build meaningful relationships, and through discussion and information sharing, we together can become better as a community. Thank you for all you do, especially you, Gord. Congrats on your marriage. And thank God Miko finally finished the Shining Blade and Kora found employment.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
What a great review.
Thank you
Thanks,
for that
Lucas,
review.
man. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
I'm sending them hugs through
Yeah.
the airwaves.
Aw,
That was a really good review. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
it was. Gallus, you got anything else?
That's what I
buddy?
got.
That's
No,
it?
I'm clear. I'm clear.
All right, Miko, do you have any shout outs?
I have a shout out to my fairy godparent on Twitter who knows who he is, who gifted me a giveaway that one of his followers had given him as just a here, go spread the joy of Guild Wars 2. So just thank you very much. I was floored, blown away. So just again, the kindness. This is why I love the community and making content for this community, because it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. That is awesome.
It really is. So that's my shout out.
All
And then
right.
Nice.
I'm so excited that all my people are having fun with this patch.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Kora, any shout outs?
I do. I'm looking for it right now.
We gotta give the weekly Tenkin shout out. That's gotta go. I'll take care of that one for you.
She already called Tinkin a poop head earlier.
I did, but then I also said he's amazing because he helps me play the game. He helped me. Taken helped me find all. There's one of the story incidents. Instance. Oh God.
Story instances.
Thank you, Miko. And there's a bunch of these chests, and if you find all, I think it's 8 of them, you get an achievement. And I would not have found them all without his help. So thank you. But I'm also giving a shout out to what is a Clayton on Twitter.
Oh, Clayton.
Yes, because
Clayton's awesome.
he responded to a post I had made, a tweet, when I finally finished my draft for the Guild Mag at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. or something. I really struggled trying to find what story I wanted, or like what I wanted to write about. Then when I figured it out, like how do I present it? And he messaged that he's been assigned as my editor, and then like the evil laughter. And so I would love to give a shout out to him for doing awesome work, and I can't wait to get your edits. And also, I'm so sorry for all of my typos. And I'm a copy editor. Like I have a certificate in copy editing, but like when it comes to my own stuff, I cannot spell the word "the" correctly, and I throw commas all over the place. So yes, so thank you. So that's
Good
my shout out.
times.
Nice. And my shout out is to my co-host, who helped me through it was very tough. I think with everything going on for me, I have buried myself so deep into social media and Reddit that the toxicity was starting to be way too much. And just being able to tap these guys and be like, hey, this is what I'm feeling. What do you think we should do? And just getting straight on advice really helps. So I appreciate that.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
You're my boy,
I'm here
Blue.
to do the Care
You're
Bear
my boy.
stare when you need it.
Yeah, the Care Bear stare. All right, so
Swing.
so Miko, if the good people want to get in touch with you, how can they do it?
They can follow me on Twitter at InkySticks. You can follow me here on Twitch. My channel is InkySticks. Or you can message me in game. My in-game name is sanspen.6093, and my Discord is Miko #3586. That's
See,
one
you
that I
got
do
too
not
many
have to
different
try.
names.
I know. I am like the
That's what
person of
happens.
many different handles, so.
That's what makes it hard for you. That's what makes it hard for you to do this part.
Yeah.
I
know.
You just
wish
got to
there
be
was a
simple
way.
like me.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to like change the Guild Wars handle, because I would totally update mine if I
Yeah.
could. But like you're
Yeah.
stuck with whatever
got.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Kora, speaking of that Guild Wars handle, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, on Guild Wars, you can find me at southofneptune.6254. Discord is Kora hashtag 2568. And I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Guild Lores. And Discord is, we already said it. Yeah, Kora. I'm getting confused now. Am I on other places, guys? I think I'm on Tumblr as well.
Yeah, you're on
Just look
Tumblr.
for Guild Lores and you'll find me.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
All right, Gallios, how can the good people get in touch with you?
Well, of course, you can find me in game at Gallios.8142. You can get me on Twitter at Gallios_GW2. And you can reach me in our Discord channel at Gallios #3334.
All right. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can reach us at sotdpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at SOTD_podcast. And you can find all the information you need about the show at SOTDpodcast.com. If you want to follow me, you can get me on Twitter at JustGord1. Yes, I did change my name for my own reasons. You could get me on Discord at Gord #4133. And you can always find me in game at Gord.8654. That's it. Another one in the can.
Excellent.
Yay!
No little in the cane, in the caster.
Great show.
Another good
yeah.
episode.
Hey, Ross.
I
Shame
don't-
on you,
Better
boy.
I don't know that one yet, Gareth. I haven't memorized that yet, but I'll put it up in the next show.
Home addresses too.
Home address too? Yeah, sure, why not? You see what's on the back wall.
Yeah.
I got a 12 gauge in
It
the
would be
closet.
very dangerous going into that household.
Anyway,
I'm nomadic. I don't have a home address. I am currently between a bunch of friends. So, I mean, you
I
could
carry
show
an
up,
Izzy.
but I may not be here.
all right. All right, another great show. We'll be back next week in 7 days with our Daybreak Part 2, which is going to dive into the story. Relics of War and Heroes. I keep doing it. Relics of War and Hosts of Ascalon have already done their breakdown. I haven't listened to them completely yet because I want to do a second playthrough, but I do suggest you download and get those. And don't forget about Troy Alicious and everybody else that's out there covering the game. Talking Script, they'll be out there tomorrow.
Covering it tomorrow.
Yep. So get out there and get some.
A lot of good peeps out there, y'all. Make sure you
Yeah.
follow
Yeah,
them.
they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so that's going to do it for us. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night,
Good night, guys.
Right.